All right, guys. Big OP here today. We're doing a Vinsmoke Reiju deck profile. This is the list I'm running in OP10. I think it has gotten way more consistent with the addition of the new Sanji Searchers and the new Foxy 2K Pirate. But let's just get into this. Start with our ones. Running a 4 of Vinsmoke Swords. Always. 2K lets you recycle your non-suited characters out of the trash. Searchable. Obviously, 4 of the new Vinsmoke Sanjis. Searching top 5. If you can go second and hit your Germa, 66 Kingdom, and a Vinsmoke in the same turn, you get to see 8 cards and take 2 of them. It's insane. I've pretty much every time I get that in a matchup, I'm just snowballing into a win. It's hard for them to get past that much card advantage. And then obviously to round out the 4s, or the 1s, I'm sorry, we have another 4 of the Kingdom of Germa. You want to see this opening hand every single time. And if not, you want to make sure that you see your Vinsmoke Sanjis so that you can hopefully dig to get the Kingdom. The reason being is the Kingdom's just going to let you dump the bricks out of your hand that you don't need, which occasionally is going to happen. Like you're going to have some of your EG7 drops in hand and you're just going to want to put them in the trash because they're better there than sitting in your hand not doing anything. That finishes our 1s. Let's go into the 2s. We run a 4 of these Vinsmoke Reiju non-suited. Obviously, best draw engine for the deck. Now we're getting into our Foxy Pirates package here, okay? I'm running 3 of Foxy. It is obviously way better than the 2K drop that they were using beforehand. I can't remember the card's name. But just being that this will, most likely, if you get this down, you're going to draw a card. It's very unlikely you don't draw a card off this. So that's the first part of the Foxy Pirate package. Then we're running 3 of the Tony Choppers. Now, the Tony Choppers are really good because this is just going to help you stay on your Dawn curve with your opponent, right? Because, yeah, it's cool to be below Dawn in this deck, but really what you want to do is you want to be matching your opponent's Dawn so that they can't make more game actions in a single turn than you can. But a lot of times, especially with this Foxy Pirate package, you're going to be able to snowball creatures and or characters, I'm sorry. You're going to be able to see why here in a second. And then this is going to lead us into our 3 drops, but this is all part of your Foxy Pirates package. Sorry about that. And there is 3 of the Porsches. These are absolutely disgusting. We'll kind of get into later when we start talking about the curve and the best plays on curve that you want to see for them. But really what this is you're going to see five cards. You're likely going to see either your blocker or your 2K off your Foxy Pirate package, and if not, that's okay. Really, the biggest purpose is that you're going to be able to put a 4K body or less into play off this. It's going to draw you a card off the leader because you're minusing the Dawn. So just all flows and synergizes really well with our leader still. I run 3 Black Marias. If you see this card and you get it down early, this is going to be the only reason that you can play your 8-drop Vinsmoke. Vinsmoke Judge, that is. And that's because most of the time you're going to be reducing Dawn every single turn just to stay ahead of your opponent in terms of board presence, I'm sorry. So this is a card that if you see it, you get it down, that means that you are going to be looking for your Judge. And it's also going to make you playing your red rocks, which we're going to get into later, a lot more accessible. Because sometimes it's kind of hard to get to that 6 Dawn turn and feel like it isn't a waste just to red rock, you know. But if you red rock and you have this Black Maria in play, you know that it's just like, it's okay. I'm going to be able to maintain and keep on this Dawn curve so my opponent can't get ahead of me. And then also the huge benefit, this is a 2K, like that's so ridiculous. We run 2 of the Vinsmoke Nijis. I don't care what anybody says, this card plays so well into this meta right now. Every time you come across your Blackbeards or you come across your Bonnies, The suited up version of this is going to help you. You're going to remove, you're going to straight up KO the searcher that they have. Now that's assuming the Blackbeard pirate is, or player is forgetting to do the on-play stuff, which happens sometimes, and sometimes they also don't have enough card advantage because you've been swinging 5s at them so much in a game that they're kind of dwindled their hand at that point, you know? We'll get more into that Blackbeard matchup later. That rounds out your 3s. Now we're going to go into 4s. I run a 1 of the Charlotte Pudding. I don't think you need to run 2. It's actually very rare that I even rip this on somebody. It's usually against other blue players that have a lot of cards in hand, or a lot of the times yellow players will have a good amount of hand advantage because they're so willing to take their life because they're getting those triggers and whatnot. But yeah, just a 1 of. And it's nice, that's a little 1K. I run 2 Black Bucks. This is a good card for a couple different reasons. First reason, it is searchable. You can rip this off of your Sanjis in your Germa 66 Kingdoms. Hitting a 5 or less to the bottom of the deck is absolutely redonkulous too, in purple. You're just going to be able to hit the Zoro-Joros from Purple Luffy. You're going to be able to hit off of the limbs, because those are going to be really popular here soon. You're going to be able to hit like the Monkey D. Luffys if they run the Luffys in that list. You're going to be able to hit the Sabos when they drop the Sabos on you. The Portuguese D. Aces. There are so many different things that you'll be able to kind of remove from the board that'll benefit you just off of this one card. You know, and those are just some of the meta call outs. I'm sure there's a lot more. I mean, you can think of carrots, jewelry bonnies, you know, name a 5-drop or less. You're gonna be able to just send that back and get it out of the field of play here. I'm sure this is obvious to everybody. Rerun 4 Ichijis. Obviously, suited up version is just a rusher. So one of the best 4-drops we have, and obviously spending 4 Dawn, losing one of them, so you go to 3, to drop a 7-drop rusher that minus 2K is one of the characters in play. And it's usually just a blocker or something they have tapped down that I really want to remove, because that minus 2K is going to effectively make it so they're either going to pitch 3 or 4 cards out of their hand to try to save the character card, or you're just going to pop it. And to round out our 4s, 4 of the Reijus, obviously. Draw 3. I mean, assuming that you're getting the leader effect off at the same time. Absolutely ridiculous, dude. You get one of these down in the same turn you do an Ichiji, and you draw 3 cards and, you know, reduce a character, kill it. Like, you're just so nice for the next couple turns because you have plenty of counter in hand. When you see these, I'm never afraid to pitch this as counter. That's the huge benefit of this, and when we get to the Niji of these both being 1Ks, is the fact that I can, at any point in time, hold this in hand, wait for you to swing at me, throw the 1K counter out, or, you know, use it with another counter, and, you know, save my life or save a character. But then it feels good that this is in the trash for me already. So now I can just put down the baby or the non-suited Reiju and suit it up, draw those cards. The Niji, obviously we already kind of talked about this. Huge. KO a 2 or less, or return a 4 or less. So the 4 or less doesn't come up as often. It's mostly in the purple Luffy matchups where I'm returning the Zoro-Joro down to the bottom of to the hand, I'm sorry, so that it can't have a turn of attacking. It's going to have to get another turn. Yeah, they'll get another search, but they have to invest the 4 Dawn into it, so it doesn't... To me, what I'm doing is I'm setting them back a turn. You know, now obviously I'm not going to return the Zoro-Joro if I watch them pool the 7-drop Luffy Taro from their deck with it. But, you know, there's always situations and scenarios where this pops up and this comes in really handy. My favorite, though, is against Jewelry Bonnie and Blackbeard. If the Blackbeard forgets and you get this on-play effect and you pop their Searcher, you're really slowing the Blackbeard down. Jewelry Bonnie, it doesn't matter. They can't stop this. You're just going to drop it down. You're going to pop the Searcher, or you're going to return one of the other valuable 4 costs. 2 Red Rocks. You need this to beat Blackbeard. And even then, you're not going to have a good chance against Blackbeard. You're just not going to. I think we have like a 30% chance of winning against Blackbeard, maybe even less. I can't remember the last set of charts I saw. But this card is good. Obviously, it's just return anything for 6 Dawn. You could do 3,000 Worlds in place of this, but it's only going to hit 5s. and you're really not going to do anything against the Blackbeard matchup. This is so that you can get rid of that disgusting 12k Blackbeard blocker. You can just put it back to their bottom of their deck and start swinging out, and hopefully you can start generating some value and beat out that Blackbeard player. And our 7 drops, oopsies, gotta stop smacking the camera. Our 7 drops are the EGGs, obviously, busted. You're going for Dawn for a 7k rusher that's minus in 2k. It's just, I don't even know how else to tell you. The only downside to this card is that it's a frickin' brick. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we're just discarding this thing anyways. Finally, one of. We don't need any more than the 1 Vinsmoke Judge. Again, the only time you're even going to play this is if you have resolved the Black Maria and just stayed around and made it so that you can reach that 8 Dawn turn. The play pattern for this is really simple. You swing out with everything you have on board. You typically have five characters in play in this deck. It's really rare that you don't. If you don't, you're probably losing, right? But what you're going to do is you're going to swing out with everything. You're going to put this down into play. You're going to remove one of the characters you already swung out with, right? You're going to return all the babies. The babies are going to, or I'm sorry, not the babies, I hate that. The non-suited characters. You're going to return the non-suited characters into play. You're going to put them all over the suited characters that you just swung with. You're going to put them all in the trash. You are then going to return Dawn for each single one of them and get, hopefully, if this all plays out correctly, one of each of the suited up adults. So you'll end up with a rusher. You'll end up with the returner slash KOer, right? You will end up drawing 3 cards. And this may not finish the turn for you because you're only getting 1 rusher out of it, but this might finish your opponent. This is going to put you in a position so that the next turn they can't do anything. You also have an ability to stop the Bonnies with this deck right here. Return Dawn, rest one of your opponent's Dawn. You know, so that right there, a lot of times you see the Bonnie player will hold up the 1 Dawn to stop you from being able to swing or, you know, swinging multiple characters. That's the huge advantage for that deck. So that is effectively how you're going to stop that from happening. All right, let's get into the ideal curves that you want to be seeing in as many matches as possible. Okay. Turn 1. You always, always, always need to see these 2 cards. Either want them both in your opening hand or one or the other in your opening hand. The reason being is you want to be searching every single turn. Every single turn you want to be looking at the top of your library. Now that's turn 1. Going first. Turn 2. You want to see these cards. Turn 2. At 3 Dawn, you want to see a Porsche in combination with an EGG, which is obviously going to put you to the suited EGG. So you're going to go Porsche, turn 1. Activate Germa or search Sanji. Hopefully you have the Porsche in hand. Porsche in hand, turn 2. You're going to go 3 Dawn. You're going to activate the search effect. You're going to get your Foxy Pirate, hopefully. Then you're going to put your Vinsmoke Ichi into play. You're going to draw a card for the Porsche, right? Or for minus and Dawn off the Porsche. You're going to suit up the Ichiji, right? Boom, turn 2. You now have a 5k established, and you have a 7k established. That is attacking, and you likely have minus 2k something on their board. If it is one of the searchers, you're just going to kill the searcher, right? Whatever deck you might be playing that's rocking the searchers. Now, the next turn, you're going to have 4 Dawn. So, hopefully, off of your Porsche, and this is the most ideal curve again, is off of one Porsche, you found another Porsche, right? Because that is the one benefit here to running the Porsches is the fact that they can and will grab themselves. So you're going to, on your turn 3, 4 Dawn is where you're going to be at. You're going to pop down another Porsche, okay? Hopefully you still have your 7K Rusher into play. The minus Dawn, whatever, you're going to put this into play. You're going to draw a card for minus the Dawn off the Porsche. Then you're going to minus a Dawn right here. And you're going to suit up your Reiju into, obviously, the suited Reiju. You're going to draw 2 more cards. So now at this point, this is what your board is going to kind of look like. You're going to have the Germa stage set. You're going to have 1. You're going to hopefully have 2 Porsches. And then you're going to have a Vinsmoke Reiju that's just drawn you 2 more cards in addition. And I'm so sorry. And you're going to have a 7K attacker in play. Okay? Now, the huge benefit is this turn cycle, now you're going to swing a 5 and a 7. And then the next turn, you're going to swing 3 5s, technically 4, including your leader, and then the 7. So this is just going to apply so much pressure to your opponent in those 2 turns. You're establishing 4 bodies, 3 of which are 5Ks, 1 of which is a 7K, all of which have effectively drawn you cards except for the Niji, right? So now you've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in hand off of just that turn. So as you can see, you're just generating value. Every turn after that is going to just be, what are you hitting off of your searches? What's the most ideal place, right? Like, if I know that they just keep putting these searchers down, I'm playing against the Bonnie matchup. Let's just say Bonnie, okay? Because I play against a lot of Bonnies right now. You are going to get into that mode of trying to find and get your Niji down on the following turns, right? So you can hopefully get rid of some of the action on that board. Everything else after that is just situational, you know. Whoopsies. Do you want to draw more cards? All right, then play the Reiju down. You know, you need to apply more pressure to life and board. You get more Ichijis down. Same with the Niji. You need to pressure the board a little bit. You're gonna try to get Nijis down. And that really comes down to everything. You see your Black Marias. This is what's gonna let you get to your Vinsmokes. And then obviously you're gonna be able to pull that line off like I told you, where hopefully you can get all 3 of the suited versions into play, and you're gonna draw about 3 cards that turn. This is Big Appa. This has been the Vinsmoke Reiju deck profile. Look forward to seeing you all again soon.